What's your story?
I'm Delvin Breaux, and this is my story.
Okay, so I'm like, tell the world actually, I'm like, where you from?
Yeah, man. So I was born in the Iberville projects, and ended up moving to the New Orleans East area.
Woo! That's, well, you know.
The good when they were good,
Right.
when the East was
I
good.
said, actually, it was a good thing moving out of Albertville to the East back in the day, huh?
Yes, indeed, man. There's a lot of violence. You walking around, and we were standing actually across from the graveyard, right there on Contact, right across from the graveyard. So we saw a whole bunch of crazy stuff, man. Fights, shootings, breakouts. So my dad was like, "Man, we got to get y'all up out of this situation." So it was for the best.
And so when y'all moved to the East, I'm like, what port y'all moved to?
Chef and Arthur.
Okay.
Yeah, Chef and Arthur, right down the street from Shishi's, man.
It was, but actually before Katrina, that was a good area.
Yes,
Well, it wasn't
indeed.
good, but it was better than being in Albertville.
Yes, indeed, man.
So, just speaking on Albertville, like, how it was like for you when you saw, like a rapper make it from there, like Rod 49, like, then he put,
Man, I see Rod 49, bro. I'm excited. I'm glad. Like, my family, they were like, bro, we got to get Rod 49 a jersey. I'm like, what are he doing? He like, bro, he making it big in the music. We going to have to follow him. So I'm like, all right, so I'm going to tap in, and I'm hearing the Vulture Island, and I'm like, okay. I'm bumping the music now.
And we showing the world the Iberville project.
Yeah, right out the Iberville.
And the people didn't even know what that was at before Rod 49.
Man, I'm trying to tell you. That's crazy. Proud of it, man.
Gotcha. So, growing up for yourself, I'm like, when did you actually realize that you was going to play, football?
Man, young. I want to say about 4 or 5 years old. I was getting abused, and I used football as an outlet. And when I was playing for Harrell, man, I made my first tackle, man. I like damn near killed the dude. My dad was like, bro, this is your sport. Fell in love with it then, man, and I just used that as my outlet.
So, playing football at a young age. Hey, but did you start playing, at the park first, or you play outside, in the streets?
Oh, we was on the neutral ground.
Okay.
Man, we was playing on the neutral ground, man. That's what all my cousins them started saying. Like, oh, boy, football going to be in your journey. So just continue to stay at it, and you're going to be great. And look, man, it's paying dividends.
Okay. And so, playing, park ball all the way into high school. And so what high school did you go to?
I went to 35. Back down at 35, senior high.
Oh, so how was that for you?
Man, it was good, man. Love high school, love 35, man. We're doing a lot of give backs now, so I'm just thankful for the teachers that paved the way, the coaches that paved the way, like Wayne Reese. Sorry he passed away and everything, but man, it was beautiful though.
Gotcha. So, getting out of high school, like, like most football players, getting out of high school, if you had to choose one on college.
Mm-hmm.
And so, how was that process for you?
Well, it's kind of different for me, and this is where my story really began. So I broke my neck my senior year in high school, and I was verbally committed to LSU. Didn't get the opportunity to play at LSU, but LSU was my only option. That was the only school I wanted to go to, man. I had a whole bunch of universities coming to the school like, bro, come travel here, take a visit here, take an unofficial visit. I was like, no, I don't want to do that. I want LSU. It was always LSU, and it was going to be LSU.
Gotcha. So, breaking your neck in high school and, all these schools and, wanting you, to play for them. As soon as you break your neck, all those offers leave and everything like that. So, I want to hear this side of the story. Like, how was your mental process during that time when you started realizing, like, dang, my dreams might be leaving out the window?
Yeah. Man, my mental process was devastating. It was frustrating just because, you're a highly touted recruit and then you break your neck and then not no coaches, no scouts even calling you, man. That was definitely a frustrating time, a frustrating period. But thank God I was committed to LSU verbally, and I stuck by their side. They stuck by my side, and we went all the way through with it. But my mental state was dark. Some nights I couldn't really understand why scouts wasn't reaching back out to me. So it was just a dark period in time until LSU and Les Miles reached out to me and told me they were going to honor my scholarship. And, man, everything hit off from there.
Gotcha. So, breaking your neck, actually, I'm like, what happened for the people who never actually heard, your full story?
Yeah. Man, we was playing at Tag on the Stadium in City Park. We was playing against Jesuit High, and I was coming down on the left hand side of the field. Man, ran down there, bro. Like I just knew I was just gonna make the play. Ain't nothing was gonna happen. Went down there. I dove. Like I led with my helmet. Like I led just like this. I didn't drop my head. Like I led with this, and I closed my eyes. And Peyton Jason, like his knee and my head connected, and then that's when my neck jerked back. And man, next thing you know, everything just went dark. You know, I hear my teammates, Terrence Moore, Derek Dean. I hear those guys. They like, bro, come on, bro, get up. We need you. Let's go get up. And I'm like, man, I want to get up, but I can't move. You know what I'm saying? So, and my words weren't coming out of my mouth. Those were just the thoughts that were in my head trying to get out. And I don't even think they really got those words. You know what I'm saying? And then that's when everything just went dark. So I'm laying on the field, not moving, everything. And then within a few seconds, this bright white light just appeared. Like, man, I can't really explain it. But like I was just in an all white room, like an all white space, and I'm just looking around the room like I'm like, man, like where am I? Like, and mind you, I'm still on the field out. So I'm like, yo, wait, like what's going on? I always think of Bruce Almighty whenever Morgan Freeman and Jim Carrey was in his room and he made it just go all white and they had this long file cabinet just and that's what it was for me. And then within a few seconds of that, man, my coaches came over. They was like, bro, you all right? I'm like, yeah. They was like, all right, well, get up off the field. Let's go. And I'm like, all right. Got up, man, walked off the field on my own, not knowing my neck was broke the whole time.
Dang. So you actually walked with a broken neck?
Yes, man. I walked off the field, took my helmet off and everything. And back in high school, it was 2 or 3 plays you had to sit out before you go back in. So I'm sitting on the sideline. I'm jumping up and down like, oh, yeah, I'm about to get back in. I'm about to get back in. And that's when I felt this pain, just like a little stabbing pain. And I immediately turned to my left and I saw my dad. You know, and I went to my dad. I said, Dad, something back here is bothering me. Like I didn't know what it was. You know, I was like, just something bothering me. And he was like, all right, son. He said, here, give you we're gonna give you some ibuprofen, see how they make you feel, and then we'll get you back out there. So as I take the pills, like the pills never went down because my disc slipped in my esophagus. I don't know if you can see it. I got a whole scar that came down here. So my disc slipped in my esophagus. So I'm on the sidelines coughing up these pills. I'm coughing up like that. And that's when it just felt like somebody just took like a machete or like a massive knife and just like stabbed me right down my. I say, Dad, call an ambulance. Something is wrong. Mind you, I'm cool, calm, and collective. I'm like, Dad, something is wrong. And it got me on a gurney and it took me out. That's when I found out, man, my neck was broken.
Yeah, you was tough as hell in high school, like to like have so like what happened at the high school? I mean, what happened at the hospital once you found out that you broke your neck? Like, wow, I was doing that. It would have broke neck.
Yeah, man. So when I got to the hospital, I'm laying in bed, and mind you, not none of the doctors or the nurses were like panicking. Like everything just felt like it was the right timing. Everything felt so peaceful. Everything felt like Delvin Breaux belonged here. Like this was it. Like they were taking care of me as if I was like a newborn baby. Like, man, it was crazy. I had to they had a lady set up for an MRI to get her leg done, but they told me, man, we got to get you in before her. So I immediately went doing MRIs, doing X-rays, and then the doc came out and he was looking at me. He was like, he was looking at he said, son, how are you alive right now? And I'm like, what you mean, doc? Like, I'm talking to you, you talking to me, we having a conversation. What you mean, how am I alive? Like, what? He said, son, you broke your neck. You ain't just break your neck. You broke your neck in 3 different places. There's no way you here right now. Like you're my miracle boy. Like you're a miracle. And from then on, man, I just kept that title with me. I'm a miracle child walking this earth with a purpose, and that's what I'm here to do, serve.
I sure was about to say, man, you here for a reason, cause not just I didn't actually think that deep of you supposed to dying, but yeah, like man. Just being able to move.
Yeah. Like
without being paralyzed or anything like that.
That was the blessing, like, man.
God was definitely with you and had, it had a plan for you.
Absolutely.
So, healing, like actually, recovering, then going to LSU. Mm-hmm. So, how was that experience?
Man, it was cool. They ended up gray shirting me. I didn't go in with my class. I gray shirted, went into the spring. And then, man, I was just a normal student. They didn't even want me working out, lifting weights. They didn't want me doing 7-on-7 one-on-ones just because of my neck. You know, I just broke my neck the year before, and it was like, we don't want to take no chance on the liability. So you just gonna have to just be a student, get your degree, which I kind of bullshitted. But it's all good.
Play football.
There you go. Football was my passion. You know what I'm saying? Like football was all I had. That was my strength. That was everything that kept me together. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Football really, that's my baby. Like I love the game so much that, man, shit, I even went back and played after breaking my neck. So like it's just, I don't know. I just love the game, man.
And so, did you ever actually, get a chance to actually, play for LSU?
No, man. I only went to the stadium.
You just got one free education.
Yeah, free education, and I only went in the stadium one time. That was during the first spring in 2008 that I went, and I saw the spring game, and then that was it, man.
What made you sad?
Yeah, I was sad. I was crying, bro. I was going to the facilities. They was like, bro, we can make you a coach. Come be a GA and you can learn stuff. I don't want to coach. Coaching ain't in my blood. I'm a football player, man. That's all I know. That's all I have. And especially a kid coming from the Iberville trying to make it out, surviving. Like, you can't tell me football. You can't tell me it's over with.
Yeah, but I already knew where I was going.
There you go.
Gotcha. So leaving out of college, how was that process of you trying to, you know what, I still want to play football, hey, but I'm going to the NFL. So, I want you to, give me, a brief journey of, from leaving LSU all the way until making it, on the Saints team.
To the league. Well, you know what, man? It came with trials and tribulations, man. It came with my losses. I tried to commit suicide during my college time, and that's where I found my most strength when I was weak. So in order for me to know that I was going to make it to the league, I had to make sure I get rid of all these demons, all the darkness, all the, the mental lapse, like the anxiety. I had to make sure all that was gone so my plate and my mind be clear for where I'm about to go. And I ended up meeting my ex-wife, and she helped me get out the light. She helped me find the light. Started back playing flag football again. I was playing intramurals at LSU. So I was already in shape. And I want to say it was 2010, 2011. My best friend Pee Wee, he was like, I caught 4 picks in one flag football game. He was like, bro, there's no way you should be playing here. Go try out for Arena League. Go try out. Get back into it. My mindset was then was like, fucking right. Bro, I set out long enough. You feel me?
But I want you to bring it back. I want you to stop a little bit before you go forward, because, the mental health is real, and I had a few people I know actually, committed suicide this year. So I want you to, kind of bring me back to that day, and I want you to kind of tell the things that actually helped you not do it, and, help you get out that dark place. And for people watching this who probably thinking about or actually contemplating suicide.
Man, first and foremost, I just want to tell you, make sure you value yourself and love yourself. If you're thinking about wanting to commit suicide, just love yourself even more, deeper and deeper. Love yourself, value you. Don't worry about the outside noise. The outside noise is what got you in this place. So make sure you focus on you and value yourself. But I can take you back to the time where I was trying to overdose on pills, man. It was a rough time for me. Like I said, LSU didn't want to allow me to play football. I didn't know where to go. I didn't feel like I had a purpose here on this earth, right? So I would drink. I was drinking Ciroc. I was playing the video games, and I never really went to class because my mind, my mental state wasn't where it needed to be. It wasn't focused on getting a degree. You know what I'm saying? Making sure I attend class, make sure I do the little things that's going to get me to where I needed to go. So I kind of sheltered myself away from everybody, man. My friends started seeing me getting skinny, getting small. They was like, bro, you're not looking good. But I'm like, man, y'all have no idea what I'm going through. So even me telling my friends that I was going through some things, they really didn't believe it, because they're like, man, Delvin, you good. You always high energy, bro. You always laughing, smiling. You make people feel good. So how could you be in this situation? So little did they know, man, I was taking Adderall pills. I was taking 7 pills a day. I kid you not. I was taking 7 pills a day. I did it for a week, 2 weeks straight, just because I wanted my heart to explode. I wanted it to explode because I feel like I have no purpose here, man. I felt like school wasn't it for me. Football was taken away from me. I felt like they were lying. They were holding things back to clear me to play football. There was nothing, man. And then I had the trauma from my childhood, of the abuse and everything that I was, going through. I still never got over that. So all that was hitting me at one point, man. I didn't have nobody to reach out to. I didn't have nobody to talk to. Like it just felt like me, and I was by myself, like just in this dark space. So I was just trying to commit suicide by overdosing on pills. And one way that helped me out of that, man, was, like I said, my ex-wife. She came into my life, and she brought the light to me. She allowed me to know that I can be myself, that it's human nature that you're going through these, that you having these emotional problems. She didn't understand how I didn't get the right coping skills growing up, but I'm like, we don't get that. All we being told growing up is you gotta be tough, you gotta be strong. Men can't cry, men can't be weak. When do I have enough time to be weak? When can I be weak? When can I cry? Never, because we wasn't really taught those methods, those coping methods growing up. So she helped me find that light, man. She was somebody I can talk to. So for you guys out there, make sure you value yourself. Have you somebody that you trust, that's not going to go spreading your business everywhere. Find you somebody that you can count on, or that's going to count on you, because they got to hold you accountable and you got to hold yourself accountable. It's easy to fall in a trap. It's easy to give up. It's easy to quit. But your mind got to be stronger than what's going on around you. So that's what I want to say. If you're going through something, value yourself and find somebody you trust.
So, I have to ask this question. Like, how did you actually meet your ex-wife, I'm like in that process of being down and everything like that.
Man, it was just through mutual friends. Like, we'll go out parties, and I actually saw her at work one time, and we kind of flirted, but it wasn't really nothing. And then how I knew it was divine, because the next week they had a party at the apartments where we were staying at, and I ran into her again, and she came up to me. We started talking, and that was it, man. We just started vibing from there.
Gotcha. So, we're going to fast forward. You said you was playing flag football. You caught some picks. So, actually, what happened after that?
So, yeah, man, I ended up going train, man. I started training at Velocity. Met my guy, Ian Ott, who was my trainer then. And he was helping me make my way back. Big Marlin favorite, Ray on Hill. So, shout out to those guys. Shout out to Mr. Mike, R.I.P. But those guys, man, they didn't ask me for a dime. I didn't have anything. I was trying to come up. I was trying to be the success story. Nobody really understood why I was trying to come back and play. Because, bro, you broke your neck, dog. Ain't nobody gonna take a chance on you. So I'm hearing all that, but I'm like, I think I can do it. I think if I make it to this league, bro, this story can be biggest. It can be something to where these kids in New Orleans can look at this blueprint and be like, man, this kid was in the Iberville and he broke his neck. He ain't let nothing stop him to get to where he wanted to go. So that was my journey. That was my blueprint. Ended up getting a workout with the, I went and played semi-pro football. I ain't even going to forget about them Louisiana Bayou Vipers. Became an all-star there. The next year, I ended up getting picked up by the arena football team, New Orleans Voodoo. Played there. That league no longer exists. The team no longer exists. Then from there, I ended up getting picked up in the CFL, signing with the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Shout out to Coach O'Neill. And then balled out there, had all-star years there. Then in 2015, man, I had 28 of the 32 NFL teams reach out to me. I only went to 15 of them, Saints being the 15th. And we made it, man. It's a great success story.
Gotcha. So how was it like signing to the Saints being from New Orleans?
Man, it was a dream come true, man. Like, everything was going so fast for me. So signing with the Saints, man, and knowing my family was here and knowing, the supporters I had, knowing what I was going through to get to this point, man, to that point, man, it was phenomenal. It was a phenomenal feeling. It felt like I said, I belonged there. It felt like this was the time I belonged in the league and with my hometown team. Like, yo, that was crazy, man. It was awesome.
Gotcha. So, playing, for the NFL, it's very, it was tough to get in the NFL, and, people hitting hard.
Oh, yeah.
So, did it ever, spark your mind, dang, if I could break my neck again?
No, man. No, man.
You didn't think
never. No, man. My dad told me, if I'm going to do this, if I'm going to go back out there, I have to put all those fears aside. I have to put any negative doubt, any gray area, because football, you can't play the game like that. You can't play the game thinking like that. You got to play the game fast, physical, force. You got to just go. You can't think. And that's what I put in my mind, man.
I ain't like me growing up playing football, looking at football players and stuff, but I seen how to play football different from not And like now you have to really learn how to tackle.
Absolutely.
Like, you know, back in the day you used to tackle to hurt someone.
Absolutely.
But now you can't do the helmet to helmet and different thing like that. So I'm like, do you think it takes some type of skill just to play on defense?
No, man. What I tell you, just keep playing. Just do you. All my coaches told, man, just do you. Play as physical as you want, and we'll handle the consequences.
Okay.
Do you, man? Because my thing is, the coaches never really want to slow you down as a player. Like, we balling, so they don't want. Oh, you got to watch for this. Oh, you got to make sure you. We practice on that in practice. So when we get to game time, man, just go. Just do you.
Right. Cause like when I was young, but I thought, you know, football was to actually injure the other person, get him out the game. He too good. You know, trying to. So like, and so now when I watch football, but I kind of look at it like it's kind of softer now. It's like, you know, but you can barely like tackle the quarterback. Like, you know, if you grab him, you gotta let him go. Like,
touch him or anything.
Yeah, so it's like it's not the same football I grew up to. Like the reason why I really want to watch football.
Yep, man, the big old difference, man. And like I said, I know they trying to do the player safety, quote unquote, but man, it's football. You're gonna get hurt. You're gonna get dinged up. It's part of the game. That's why you lift weights. That's why you take your muscle mass, your proteins. You do those things to eliminate or prevent. There's nothing saying, oh, on this play, this is what's gonna happen. No, you just gotta play to your fastest ability. Do what you gotta do, and man, let the chips fall where they fall.
So let's get into one little deeper with the football NFL, because like basically they had a movie come out about it, you know, with these players getting hit, having brain injuries, concussions, and things like that. So like, do you feel like, because you know, if you still love football to this day, like, do you feel like it's a certain way you're supposed to play the game? Because like, you know, if I see all the doctors and all this, like, actually complain, but you know, but the world love football.
Yeah.
Like, you know, if ain't nobody trying to stop the NFL, like, you know, like, people love football for being football. Yep. So, like, how do you feel about, you know, the whole situation, like, about, you know, and, like, the dangers of, you know, playing football?
Yeah, you know what, man? I tell my family, now they ask me if you going to let your son play. Oh, man, I'm like, oh, no, man. I don't want my son really playing just because I know the impact it can have, man. I'd be scared, bro. I'd be scared sitting out there watching my son land. Bro, that's nerve-wracking. So it's kind of making me hesitant about even letting my son even play, just because I know about the concussion. Little do y'all know, man, when you start playing football, the minute you start playing football, it's happening. Absolutely. So you having CTE issues, and like I just found out, you get diagnosed with CTE once you pass away. That's what I just found out too. So you don't even know if you're having CTE issues while you're alive. Right. So it's more so of memory issues, damaging to your brain. Like some kids' brain could be bleeding, and we don't even know because we don't get checked out. How many black parents gonna go to the hospital?
If they have a proper insurance.
You feel me? Exactly. So it's like you starting at a young age, damaging your brain mentally and having these effects. So whenever kids act the way they act now, man, I'd be more open to it. I'd be more susceptible to it, especially the young athletes, because I know now. I know better. I know you guys are going through banging y'all head, smashing 24/7. The coaches in Pogba want y'all to go here. It's already happening, man. So to me, I don't like. I really don't like it, bro.
If I talk to like a few ex-NFL players, and like some of them be like, man, you could tell him, if they kind of messed up.
You might have to grab some water.
Oh, man, I'll get it for you.
Yeah, man, I'm a little nervous now, bro. Like, I'm nervous for my son. I'm nervous for a lot of kids. I'm nervous for a lot of parents just because of what I've been through. You know, I can share that experience back now, man. I done had trauma, memory issues. Like, it does happen, man.
Right. And, like, you know, and the scary thing about, you know, those brain injuries, like, you can actually do something, I'm like, life-changing, I'm like, with them brain injuries. Like, you can actually hurt someone else or different things like that. And, like, I think, like, the NFL should really get an NFL type of, like, insurance for the players. Even if they play 1 or 2 years, to actually always go see someone.
Man, you preaching to the choir. That's what we fighting for now.
Because, like, I don't want to speak on you, boy, but, like, I ain't going to say his name, but, like, basically, they're accusing him of, like, killing his mother, but, like, how many of y'all checked on his, like, mental health? Because he don't look like he's mentally there.
Exactly.
Like a lot of ex-NFL players don't be looking like they mentally there. Like
Exactly.
when you see them in their eyes do certain things that you should know that this person ain't really
It's not normal.
like.
Absolutely.
If it's not the person you know him as.
Yep.
Like, things are going on, but like I think they need like proper like insurance to like actually secure.
To make sure, yeah. So we actually have these benefits now, and I'm glad you got me recorded because now for the NFL players, former players that have played and don't know about these benefits, man. Y'all need to tap in. NFLPA Trust, the foundation, they have programs. They have mental health programs. We have I think it's covered. We 100% for the rest of our life now. I just found this out last week at our NFL chapter meeting. We have mental health programs. All that for the rest is 100% covered. You get 8 sessions per month, and you can do it each month. Insurance covered. It's 100% covered. You don't come out of pocket no more. No co-pays. No nothing. When you do it, it's 100% free. So make sure you guys tap into that. Hey, and you can take care of your spouse. You can take care of your kids, man. So don't be don't burden them because you don't want to be into it. Get into it. Get involved in it, man. Like your family counting on you. I'm counting on you. The NFLPA actually is counting on you.
Gotcha. So being a football player for over 20 plus years, tell us what you enjoy most about it, and tell us what you actually hated about it.
Man, playing football 20 plus years, the most exciting piece was, I want to say, me just overcoming adversity, just overcoming me, like I said, wanting to commit suicide. Like, I don't think I told you, I wanted to commit suicide at 9 years old. I wanted to commit suicide when I was in college.
Hey, so when you was 9, let's bring that back.
Oh, yeah, man.
Yeah, like, man. People don't know, like, it was different type of levels. Like, some kids feel like they don't want to be here no more, and some kids feel like they want to take their own life. So, and so how did you feel about all them, during all those times? Well, for episodes you had.
Yeah. So man, at 9, like I said, the mental health portion, the coping skills, coping methods, our parents, my dad and mom didn't really teach us that. So just due to the abuse that I was getting, man, man, it was at some point I was just like, man, why am I even here? Like, I always wanted a different family. I always wanted to go be by my grandma. Like, I always wanted to just get out of that situation because I felt like no child should be really getting abused like that, man. Like, and it was over some pointless things to where it's like, man, what did my dad go through? You know what I'm saying? And coming to find out now, he, been through some traumatic things as a kid himself and is growing up. So it's kind of making more sense now. But then I would question my dad, like, bro, why you doing it? Like, why you being so mean and, over nothing? Like, and man, it just got to a point to where I was on my knees. I was punished. I was on my knees for 2 hours, and it was around Mardi Gras time. And my mom and them left. They went uptown by my grandma. My brother went by my auntie and them. So it was just me and my dad at the house. My dad ended up leaving. So I was like, man, I'm about to get off my knee. I'm not like, what am I punished for? Like, come on, Brad. There's no way a 9-year-old kid's supposed to be in a dark space, having dark moods, thinking about wanting to commit suicide, wanting to leave this earth, feeling like he's hopeless, don't have nothing, like, don't feel love. Like, it was all that going inside my mind. And I'm like, I don't want to be here no more. I love football that much. I was doing my thing on the field. But when it came to being inside those closed doors, what happened behind closed doors stages, it was hurting me, man. It was hurting me because, I was going to school with whelps on my ass. I couldn't really sit down in class, and I couldn't tell no teacher because I felt like if I tell a teacher, it get back to my dad, and I don't know what else this man gonna do. You feel me? So, or something worse, man. Like, I was getting beat with bats, all that, dog, and it's like, for what? I don't know. I was just a kid. I'm growing up. I'm having these mental issues to where we can figure it out. But if they haven't figured it out, how you think we gonna figure it out? So it's that cycle.
Also, how your relationship is with your dad now?
Man, you know what, man? I haven't talked to my dad in a while. And this past year, Father's Day, man, he surprised me on Father's Day. I was throwing a mental health awareness event at Dillard University, man. And, he popped up on me, man. And
It made you happy still,
man,
right?
I was like that little kid again. I was energetic. I was like, bro, this is my dad. Like, what you doing here, man? It's about you. I'm doing all this, all because of you. It stemmed from you, and the fact that he came there and showed love is like, man, I need to get in some of these mental health events. I love what you're doing, man. I didn't know you were feeling that type of way. I didn't know you were trying to commit. So I didn't know that. So, and the fact that he broke it down to me like that, it made me feel like, man, he do have a heart. He do have sympathy. He do have love. He just have to find it.
Right. And like, I explained this to my girlfriend, like, black parents, sometimes but you have to discipline your child, and
For sure.
Sometimes the white people don't want to hear about you whooping them, but like I always was a firm believer, because like I was a bad child getting whoopings. I'm like, you should talk to your child after you discipline them. Always let them know, like, don't leave them in the dark about why they punished, because it's gonna leave their mind wondering other things.
Right.
Like, when I was young, I didn't want to commit suicide, but I didn't want to be here because I thought God punished me by making me have speech problem. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, man, why the other kids ain't have that? So right. That's why I asked you, like, did you contemplate doing it, or you just didn't want to be here?
No, man,
you thought about doing
it.
Right.
Yeah, I went. So when everybody left, my dad left. I got up off my knees. I'm like, man, I ain't about to do it. I looked myself in the mirror, bro. I'm like, I don't see no love. Bro, everything was just dark for this kid. You know what I'm saying? This kid is just dark. I said, well, it's time. So I went in his room. I knew where he had his gun on. It was in a shoebox on top of his closet. Went up there, man. I got it. Like, I'm holding it. It's heavy as hell, bro. And I'm like, I don't know what it is. I'm just like, I'm about to take this and I'm about to just go ahead on and put it to my head. Don't know how it is. Like, don't know how to hold it. So then that's when I hear a car pull in the driveway, and I'm like, oh shit, put it back up there, went back out on my knees, kind of found out it was my dad. He came back in the room, like, all right, now you can get off your knees now. And I'm like, whoo.
Oh, you think that was a sign too?
Man, it gotta be. God ain't want me going nowhere, man.
And the crazy part is about that, you're just saying that, like, even if he'd have came back an hour later and you did do it, like, I have a friend that came, downstairs and, if his son shot himself, and he's like, that's like not a feeling you want to ever see. Your child just brain splattered. Then he woke up. I'm acting to the police at the door too. So it's like, that's a crazy experience. Yeah, but man. Like, also speaking on your father, like, but you can tell that you still had real love for your father, because even when you broke your neck, you went talk to him.
Absolutely.
He was always still there.
Absolutely. My dad ain't go nowhere, man. And like I said, I had to survive. Right. I just had to get out that spot to really find out who I was, man.
So, on one more, like, crazier, like, insane question, like, do you think by him whooping you and, like, being so hard on you actually made you so tough for that situation when you broke your neck? Because, like, I don't think a lot of people would have like probably panicked or passed out when they're like, my neck rate, something like, damn, like, something ain't right.
No, man, I don't think that prepared me. I'm a mentally strong kid. Okay. Like, I was always a mentally strong person, so I was always calm, cool, and collective. I never always freaked out about anything. So no, I wouldn't say.
Cause I talked to someone. It was like, getting like able actually by their parent, like punching them, like actually, like mentally actually prepared them for like boxing.
Oh yeah.
Like, like get punched in the mouth. Like, man, you can't be harder than my dad and mama, so I could beat any kid of my age.
Yeah.
So, like, that's why I asked you, like, do you think that, like made your toughness skills, like, cause like these days now, like, with TikTok and all these other YouTube shorts, had these kids a little more softer and like timid.
Yeah.
Like, these kids don't really go outside and get scrapes and none of that. So, like, so that's why I'm like, my generation, you get physically abused, but we didn't know it was physically abused. We thought it was normal because everybody was getting whooped like that. Yep. So, like, growing up like that, do you think that it actually, prepared you to actually, raise your son, in a different way?
Absolutely. That's what it prepared me to do. It prepared me to make sure I take care of my son, DJ, to the T. I don't want to make no mistakes of, overdoing it. Yeah, I understand it. I don't want to overdo it. So, talking is my way now. I talk to my son. I put this stern voice. Hey, calm. He gets that. He like, oh, dang, dang, Dad. And it makes me think like, why my dad didn't think the same way, but mentally, he wasn't in the right space. So now it's just giving me more to do for my son, man. Like, if my son talking in class or he doing something, hey, we'll take this away, take that away. Like I set him out his first half of football game. You ain't going. We got to get that. We got to work on that. And it's just something you do as a parent, man. You want to. And then one thing my dad didn't do was he always disciplined me, but he didn't show no love at the end.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what I was saying. You know, you got to talk.
Yeah,
to the
he
child
never.
after, yeah.
Oh, I love you, man. I want to make sure you. This is why we doing. He ain't never, bro. He just was and get your ass in there and sit down. And go read that. I'm like, well, dang, well, where the love? Well, when you gonna say, well, look, son, you know why I did, or why we doing this, or why I'm? It was never none of that, man.
And that's what I was kind of preaching earlier. Like, you know, as you discipline a child, you know, you're supposed to like kind of explain what they did and kind of like, you know, talk to them about how they don't have to do it again, or like,
Absolutely.
or like, you know, if I could change, you know, directions.
Yeah.
But like, you know, back in the day, we used to get whoopings and get sent to the room.
Man,
we didn't know it. Like 9 out of 10, you might try it again.
But I did. But I know me, man. I was talking in class. Like, I knew some of the time. You know, I ain't going to say I was just this perfect angel, but I would get in trouble. But it was just the over. Like, come on, brother. You get your little whipping. He was over the top with it, you know?
So, like, basically, it goes from being disciplined to abuse.
There you go.
Very fast. Like, you know, people don't really realize. But sometimes, you know, a lot of parents were like forced to be parents. A lot of people wasn't ready to be parents, so like they didn't know how to be parents. So like some parents got the same type of treatment.
Yep.
So they treated their child the same way, and like they didn't know no better.
Yep.
Like you know, black fathers, it was just happy if black fathers was in a child's life.
Man,
so like who gonna tell them how to raise their child? Like
exactly.
Shit, just let them be. Look, at least he there.
Exactly. And that's all I was hearing. Like, oh, at least your dad was there. Oh, your dad was there. Some kids don't have no dad. I said, yeah, I'm thankful. But why I had to be treated that way?
Right. Yeah, but I'm traumatized by that.
I'm trying, bro. Y'all know, like, everybody was like, oh, I want to be with Coach Bro. Coach Bro, I see the way he treated son. Y'all seeing it from the outside. Y'all don't know what's going on behind these doors, dog.
I'm hurting inside.
I'm hurting, man. Like, I was going to school, elementary school, middle school, high school. I'm hurting. Nobody knowing what's going on. I'm hurting inside, dog.
I'm gonna speak on this. I have a friend, he's a celebrity, I ain't gonna say his name, but I'm pretty sure he got his stories out like that. I'm gonna interview him soon. But he actually ended up being abused by his father a lot. His father was a big swole guy. He ended up killing his father. So it's like, you know, sometimes, you know, that discipline can actually change a child's mental, like for a child to really hate you enough to actually not want you to be in his life at all by killing you.
I'm telling you.
Like, and you know, if it's some deeper conversation that people should start having with them, and the child, like, if the child is too young to actually tell his dad, like, hey, bro, I think you're going overboard. So like, and like, you also don't want to blame the mama.
No.
So like, hey, but if you could change anything as your childhood, do you think like, even if you were to talk to your father, do you think he would actually comprehend what you were saying to him?
No, not as a child. No. If my dad wouldn't have understood my feelings because he couldn't understand his own feelings.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So he definitely wasn't gonna understand how I was feeling. Or my brother, or my other siblings in the house too, right? So no, man, he wouldn't have understood because it's his way or the highway. You know what I'm saying? And, that's just what it was, bro. You know, and like I say, I'm thankful for my dad. I'm thankful for him being in my life because, like I say, a lot of kids don't have their fathers, but I was fortunate. You know, my dad was there. Thankful he made sure we had a roof over our head, you know, clothes on our back, food on the table. You know, he was there, man. So I'm definitely thankful. You know, he always say, man, take your suitcase or take your luggage with you when you're going on your journey. But I'm like, man, there's some things I'm gonna have to take out of this suitcase, you know, and from what you taught me, so I can be able to find out who I am as a person, right? And that's where I started defining mental health, right? Mental health to me is just like reprogramming your mind to finding out who you really are, right? And that's something I had to do, man, my whole life until I forgave him. You know, I forgave the situation, and you move on from it, right?
So I'm just glad that, you know, you have some type of relationship with him, because, you know, some people just, like, cut their parents off forever.
Oh, he cut. Oh, yeah. His number's still blocked in my phone. Okay. So when I see him, I see him, because my thing is, it's about me now.
Right.
It's about me now, you know.
But, yeah, I'm glad, because, you know, me personally, I had a, you know, relationship. I didn't even want to talk to my father when he was about to die. So, like, so, you know, you still have him here for at least
for sure.
one day, but, like, you know what? I understand, bro.
Yep.
You know, I'm I'm gonna treat it, and it's still a process because it was
Absolutely,
years of trauma.
Bro, come on, man.
Yeah, I definitely get you. So, but we're gonna leave off this conversation and like speak on some positive thing. Like,
For sure.
Tell the world. I'm like, what's next for you?
Man, yes indeed, man. So I'm a published author. I retired officially last year, November 22. I'm a published author, Unbroken. Make sure you guys go check it out. It's UNBREAUXKEN. It's on Amazon, Barnes and Nobles. You can even go to Baldwin and Company, I believe, may have copies. So you guys go check it out. I'm doing some motivational speaking. Man, I'm giving back to the community. I'm doing mental health awareness events. Just so we can bring that to the forefront and stop hiding that mental health ain't real. It's definitely real. Man, I'm into cannabis. I'm in school for cannabis, about to get my cannabis badge and certification and cultivation, so I can teach our kids and parents and our Black and brown communities that this plant is amazing. It's a herb. It's medicine. It's definitely allowing me to live in confidence. So I want them to get a different perspective on it, and I'm doing it the right way by going to class, taking courses, getting the knowledge. So I'm definitely going to be tapped into that. And yeah, man, I'm telling my story. I have a couple production people reaching out, wanting to tell my story and wanting to get it on the big screen. So I'm definitely excited about that. So yeah, man, and just taking care of my son, man. DJ is my life. He's my world, and I just want to make sure he gets the best upbringing and go from there.
Yeah, but you definitely have a story, and I will still go watch this movie, even though you just told me a lot of
yes,
it. But
indeed, man.
I'll be like, but even with a movie coming out about you, like, it was very needed, like, because you don't know what nobody's going through right now.
Absolutely.
Gotcha.
Absolutely.
And also, last but not least, tell the world, what can they find you at on social media and everywhere else?
Yeah, for sure, man. I'm on Instagram, Broshow40. Y'all go check me out. I'll follow back too.
And I'm like, that's your story.
That's it. That's my story.